All right, I'd like to call to order the October 14th meeting, Stormwater Bylaw and Regs meeting for 6 o'clock, 6:05. In attendance is Les Stevens.
Barbara Bacon. Carol Gogolinski.
Mike Swicker.
Okay. Colin here and Jake are both excused. We got family and cold coming on, so first thing that we got to go over is the March 24th, 2025 minutes. They're in our packet.
Yep. March 24th.
This was our kind of recap meeting that we had to do when we received the last round of minutes or edits.
For stakeholders?
Yeah, the
24th?
stakeholder. Yep.
Yeah. So the stakeholders.
Yep.
I don't think I even have those. So what things are we with this? No,
It's just
thank you.
like that.
Oh, that's it, not much. I can read that.
This is March 24th.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow, that's old.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we went in front of the selectmen
Yeah.
and we were gonna close it and we were asked not to close it.
Yeah, because we had to do, make
Correct.
sure we had all the edits in there. Yep.
But now that it's closed,
Yeah, we just approved the minutes.
we need to approve the minutes.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, entertain a motion to approve the minutes for March 24th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion by Carol,
Second?
seconded by Margaret. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Mine's done. What's in our packet? So I think there's just a miscue in our packet that John left us was I have the bylaw edits that might have pulled over. So these aren't. We already did the bylaw.
Right.
So I think John grabbed the wrong file
Yeah.
as he was doing the updates. So we can, we're not doing the bylaw edits. We're actually working off of the revision that we had at our last meeting, which was the Uxbridge right there. Yep. The Uxbridge regs that we were going through. So if you've got a copy of this is page 2. The Uxbridge regs. Mike, you got them right there. Yep. So Carol, you've got a copy of them?
I do.
So just to recap, we went through section 1, which was really converting everything from Uxbridge over to Douglas. Section 2 was taking the definitions from the bylaw, moving, so our bylaw definitions need to go into the regs.
Until they match.
So they match up. Okay?
And they did do them.
Yeah.
If we're looking at it, we're going down through here.
Yep. I think the other thing is that he was, John and I was helping him through it. He grabbed an old version of the bylaw that had the old definitions
Yeah, by mistake.
by mistake, so that will probably be updated as well. We'll just.
Yeah, he needs to get, it's already been approved by the state, right?
Correct. So he's.
No.
No, not yet. He's
Not yet. But it was voted in though.
It was voted in. It's in the queue with the AG to approve.
Okay.
We just don't know when it's going to come out of the queue.
Okay, so what we need to see is the actual thing we voted on.
Correct.
Without
That is.
any things.
Correct.
He's got a copy of that now, so he'll be able to bring those definitions over.
Correct.
He just grabbed an old version by mistake. So what we did, Carol, just to get you up to speed, is we're bringing over that for section 2, which is the definitions. Section 3, starting on page. Oh, okay, section. I have.
Big thing is definition.
Yeah, definitions.
You missing number 3?
Section.
I see 4.
Correct. I think he. In the packet.
So, no, we have 3 and 4.
Yep.
3 is effective date.
Yeah.
Because we,
I know we were moving stuff around
yeah.
because 3 was
and that
going to
was
move.
part of it.
There was a sequence
Yeah.
of events.
Yeah, we definitely changed that around.
Yeah. So maybe for tonight.
Which is the so 3 used to be administration, but we wanted effective date and stuff put in.
Correct. So I think for tonight we could go. We could review section 5, which is really the permit procedures.
The applicability?
Okay, now where do you have that, section 5?
Section 5 is on page 8, Carol.
Page 8
Yep.
of the Uxbridge one?
Yes,
Okay.
yep. I think we can review that tonight and get that kind of squared away or updated. You know, everything's gonna take a couple passes. Yeah.
So that's our section 6. Go to page 505.
Mhm.
We put permit procedures, requirements, and fees as number 6, the last page.
Yeah, I don't have that one that you got there, Mike. Was that the email?
No, this is the one that.
Oh,
it's in our
6.
packet.
Yeah, 6. The problem is this, Mike, that was off of the bylaw. If you look at the first page of that.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to be working off of a reg, not the bylaw.
This is the regs.
So, page 1.
Regulations. That's his update.
Oh, okay.
Give us an
Okay,
update.
okay.
Gave
So
you
it's
that.
Canada.
Okay. No, sorry.
Yeah.
I also had the one where he
Yeah, I know, I do
outlined.
too, but I put that to the
Okay.
side.
Okay, so you got the regs.
Yeah, these are the regs
Okay.
and he's updated
Who
them.
gave you those? John?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the update for us.
Well, I don't think I have all that stuff.
What was in tonight's packet?
Well, he has, where's the packets? Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Ah,
Sorry.
Okay, that makes a big
There you
difference.
go.
we
Okay. There you go.
Now we're in business.
Yeah, now you're in business.
All right,
All right. So
all right.
So
we're on
in
the same
there,
page. There we go.
the one that's in red, just put to the side.
Yep.
That one there, get rid of that one for now.
That's
But now,
Uxbridge.
didn't this red one, didn't this come from this?
Some of it came
Some
from
of
our
it.
final.
Some of, but not all. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out why he had the bylaw in red, but this is what we should work off
So we're
of.
just getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I just put to the side. for
Yeah.
now, right now.
So
So,
you brought
so
up
page 505 is what we had discussed the other night
Yep.
for the permit and procedures.
Correct. So now we got to go to Oxbridge, right? Section 5, which is
Under section 4 of this bylaw. It refers back to the bylaw because that's what we wanted done.
correct. But the content's going to come from page 8. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, got that one, Carol.
So page 8 of Uxbridge?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. We good? You know where you are?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll get Carol lined up. Carol, you need help?
I don't know. I think I do.
I'll give you help real quick.
All right.
All right.
What are we doing now?
Easy.
All right.
This is junk,
That's junk. Okay.
okay? We did a bunch of updates.
Okay.
We're at this section,
Okay.
item 6,
Yep.
but that aligns with the section 5 right here.
Okay.
So now we're gonna review section 5
Okay.
to
Okay.
put in here.
Okay.
So we wanna take a look at that tonight,
All right.
okay?
Yep. Got it.
All right, so
So his verbiage then that he has in here is wrong.
it's wrong. It's kind of like the stopping point where he stopped,
Okay.
okay?
This is gonna be Xed up.
Yeah. So, in section 5 of the regs
Of Uxbridge.
of Uxbridge, yeah, yeah. So, I guess we could read through the first paragraph and section A, see if there's anything. So, applicant shall file 3 copies. Stormwater plan, one on PDF.
What do you think of that? 3 copies and 1 PDF. You think that's okay? That person's gonna be thinking
Submitting
more
it.
about that than any of us.
For now, I think we'd leave it and then see
yeah.
what
Yeah.
he's looking for in the office. It could
Yeah.
be amended. I mean, that's just changing numbers, really.
Yeah, I think the
But I'd like your input, to see what she thinks of
yeah.
it.
Oh, well, I can tell you one thing. I was on the Registry of Deeds today, looking up the job in Uxbridge. And I come across a stormwater permit issued by the town of Uxbridge for another job. And I said, so that's why I was late.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause I forgot it. So, I mean, right here, here's a simple permit application.
Oh, wow.
And I guess the Conservation Commission in Uxbridge are the ones that,
Oh, I'd be
They use
surprised.
conserva-
yeah,
Really?
not the
Use
planning
Comcom?
board.
Okay.
And then, and here's a checklist of everything they
Oh, that's beautiful.
want. And then, and then just the application, so it's like 4 pages.
Wow. That's recorded though. That's a recorded one, right? So
Yes.
that's after they get their decision and approved, because that's recorded at the registry of deeds. So that's the permit itself.
Yeah, but so I thought that was actually a good idea to have these things recorded.
Yes.
Yeah,
And and that's the plan here.
Yeah, yeah,
But I-
yeah. That's good. That's the finish line product, right? So in section 5 here is really what's the
That's what the-
requirements and what's
Well, that's what she has right
I got a
there. It's all right there,
checklist.
checklist.
okay.
That we can all take a look at this and,
Okay.
and I
Yeah.
would think, just massage it.
Yeah,
Can you make some copies of that?
Yeah, do that right now.
yeah,
Well, here,
Drop.
let me make, I'll do the whole thing,
yeah.
right?
Drop it in and press.
Yeah, because that would be
Yep.
what we're doing right here in section 5.
Yeah, this is just the outline with the bylaw, right? And then that's the form, right? So, which is kind of cool. Yeah, he's gonna warm up and then just, there you go. So everything that she's probably has in there,
Is part of this.
part of this
B.
here. Yep. I don't, looking through section B of that, 5.D, there's nothing in here that is concerning. It's all butters and waivers and requested list of waivers. Stormwater management, run erosion and settlement.
The maintenance agreements.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think, proof of notification of national heritage and endangered species, if applicable, I would say.
What's that?
Number 9, so 5.9, proof of notification of national heritage and endangered species with estimated priority habitat proof. And I would say I would add on that one.
But this, how do you prove that it's not within our...
Correct, if applicable.
How do you prove negatives?
There's a map. Yep. You know?
So why would you say if applicable?
But
Well, because if you're not in the, if you're not, see,
It
the
says right
national,
here, then you don't have to worry about it.
yeah,
If you're not in it, you submit that you're not.
yeah,
You are, you submit that you are.
yeah,
So it's applicable at all times.
correct.
see, when I see something like that, it says proof the project is not within the estimated, what's the proof? Do you have to send
proof-
somebody out
There's
there?
a map.
There's a map.
Well,
national
that's what
heritage.
you'll say.
No, that's what it is.
You're not
But we
necessarily,
could,
that's
you
not
put
what
that
it says here.
verb, you can put that verbiage in there
I
as
think you
per
can put that
map.
as per the map.
As per map.
You betcha.
Uh,
Because you
Like
get
right
somebody
there,
that said
like right behind you.
proof said, oh, well, you gotta go out there, you gotta send somebody out there, you gotta look and make sure.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah, you
in
don't want
there.
that. You don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want a
So-
person out there.
So number 9, see right behind you?
Yeah, it's at the,
Thank you.
Yeah.
okay,
So that's the map. I
you
think
need some
that's
verbiage
the map.
that refers
That
to
one?
the
Yeah,
map,
that is
and
it.
That
that's
is
the
the map.
proof.
Priority habitats,
And that's the proof. What do you think,
right?
Margaret?
No,
All you have to do is go on
no,
the
that's a trail. That's a trail map.
town GIS or the Mass GIS and put a,
That's
turn on
it.
natural
Click the button.
heritage
But I
and that
think-
comes
Oh,
up.
yeah,
I
that's the
think
map.
what we
Mike,
want,
yeah.
though, we
I
want
thought
to
you were
reference
looking
that.
No, no, look right there.
Yeah, so
That's the map.
in the checklist that we're gonna develop, we can have it right in this checklist.
Yeah,
It's in
Right,
there.
Yeah.
exactly, so
It's in
we
there?
want that in the proof.
Oh, on this, it's on here, it's on there, number 9, so it should be on the checklist.
Yep. All right. So, all right, so that's number,
It doesn't, but we can put it on there.
okay.
Uh,
Want purple?
Now we're putting it on the B.
I think we're just doing an edit for it. So, we got a good little checklist that we can add things to it and edit. If you guys switch to, go to page 9 on the Uxbridge bylaw,
Yeah,
C, this is, this is about entry on land.
Yeah,
So the thing that I always feel that's missing in this is like the notification, right? Because it says permitted by the state and if authorized by owner, parties in control of property, planning board or agent, officer, and employees may enter upon privately owned land for the purposes of performing their duties on the Stormwater Bylaw and these regs, and may make or cause to be made such examination, surveying. There has to be something in here about entry where
It does the first line. If authorized.
think of or.
Right, so
Yeah.
the extent by state law,
yeah.
if state law allows it, or if authorized. There's only two ways that you can enter.
I think that they should inform them that they're doing it, though. Here's
Well,
the
you have to
thing,
be
how can they write
authorized, so
that
that means you have to be
in?
informed.
Or, that word was or.
Correct.
Or.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. So if the state comes down with a judgment through the courts that you can go on the land,
Yep.
that supersedes everything.
Correct.
So it's by state law or authorized.
So
I mean, whatever word you want.
No.
It's quite blank, it's quite straightforward, right?
No.
There's only two ways that you can get on.
but here's the problem you have sometimes, right?
Can there be a
You
problem
can-
with that verbiage?
Well, let me explain.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get just an agent that says, "Well, I'm authorized and it is state
No.
law," and then
You have to be authorized by the owner. It says right there.
If they or.
That's correct, because I just stated a
Right.
fact. If a judge says that you can go on the land,
Do you think?
that's state law.
Yeah, they're not going to a
That's-
judge.
All right, so
They're
then,
gonna say, we thought we saw something going on there. Just like you can go into a house if you think somebody is in danger.
then put in whatever you want,
I
but
just think,
Yeah.
I think people should be notified ahead of time, that's
you have to
all.
be, according to this, but you can put in extra language if you want.
yeah. Margaret, what's your thoughts on?
Very first line.
I thought that except by state law or authorized.
Or
Right,
authorized?
so
So
basically.
you have to notify to get authorized,
Okay.
or if it's mandated by the state.
No.
That's the only two ways that you can do
What
it.
is, how does the state law allow it? Okay, if you see something, you see.
To a judge.
No, you don't have to go to a judge. If somebody sees something that they think is going wrong and they're not supposed to be doing, they can go in, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So that's what I'm saying. I think it should be notification,
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
or after
You have a
notification.
major violation going on, and you know it.
Yeah.
The state law says you can go in there, you still gonna notify them that you're gonna go in there?
Oh, so that's,
You're just gonna go in.
Yeah,
so,
So that's state law,
yeah.
or if you're just doing it in the normal course of business, you notify the owner, like it asks you, tells you to do here, to gain entry. That's the only two ways.
well,
you can do
you
it.
notify the owner, but then you need his permission.
Right.
Well, no. So
It says here you have to be authorized.
if
That
you're in
means you being
violation,
authorized to own the property.
You
yeah.
need his permission. So you're talking about before somebody does a permit application. This is before, or is this after?
So
This is during.
this is
During, so it's just like the planning board or the commission. So somebody files with you,
so this
then
is
you ask permission.
Correct.
You'd like to go out there on the site, correct?
And so that's what it says
So
in
the
the
way-
first sentence.
the way I'm interpreting this is again, this is underneath the permit, all right, procedures, requirements, and fees.
Correct.
So in that situation, that you are a pre-installation, so you haven't installed any stormwater, that they're doing a site walk. If we look at it that way, right?
Yeah.
So if they're doing a site walk, then they'd set up an appointment and authorize to meet. You know what I mean? Meet with the owner. I think that's the only thing is
Did we put anything in our bylaw on that? I think we did, didn't
I
we?
thought we did the bylaw.
I'm looking, on,
We just don't want people scrolling in.
yeah, no. Right. Don't worry. That can't, that could be real ugly.
It is, people don't like that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Although technically, I think they do have the right to do it. But when you start putting it that way without,
Well, the problem
Any
is,
more
is,
stuff to
is,
look at,
is but it's also, so there's protection on both sides, right? You have to protect the landowner.
The landowner.
Also the
Correct.
agency or whoever.
Right.
Because
Correct.
if they're out of line, where they're
Correct.
just rolling in on someone without notifying them, that's the key. You know, like, oh, we just got a call, and so we're
No,
walking on
you
Carol's land, walking around looking for
no, yeah.
bubbling oil.
No.
You know what I mean? Without your notice. So I think what we'll do is maybe we'll look at adding something about notification. I've got the bylaw, and it's not in our packet, but I'll look for something.
I thought this bylaw though was fairly complete.
I think,
Wasn't it?
you know, if authorized by the owner or a notification that was sent within 7 days or something like that. Something. I'll see if I can put some notification language in there.
I think I guarantee you this has been vented through council, and what they have there is why they left it there the way they did.
Yeah. But we can put another or in there, or you notify the owner, right? Or if you're authorized.
And.
So if you have some type of major violation, the homeowner doesn't have to allow anybody on his property.
is that so?
Unless
Is that
state
so?
law,
I don't know.
supersedes.
So if there is,
If you have a judgment against you, you
That-
can walk on your property.
so there is a known wetland violation per
Correct.
se, then who's given authorization for people to go out
I
there and
don't
look?
know that much
Yeah.
detail of
So-
state law, when that would be permitted.
But isn't that what we're talking about? Kind of,
No, this
Right, and that's why they say entry on land to the extent permitted by state law,
yeah,
whatever state law is, which
They reference
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
know,
yeah.
or if authorized by the owner. In other words, you need to notify the owner and get authorized. Are the only two ways that you're allowed to enter the property.
Yeah, and the only thing I would look
So
at,
it'd be like, how would I say, there's a fire at your house. They don't call and ask for permission to
That's
come
right.
onto your
That's
property to put the
Yeah.
fire out,
Right.
because law allows them to do it.
Right.
I don't know the extent of the law, I don't know it, to allowing them to go on property
now,
in this circumstance. I don't know what that verbiage
why would we
is.
want to go on the property if they didn't file a permit application?
correct. They'd have to do that.
So this, I think, is to check when the work is being done.
No, it's the initial one, which is permit, procedures, requirements, and fee.
Yeah.
That is a section, that section 5 there is a pre-application. And maybe we have to write that out as a pre-application?
Well, actually, if you go a little longer, it does say surveys and sampling as the planning board deems reasonably
Yeah,
necessary
it's for doing their
Yeah.
during
duties as a
Yeah.
compliance with the stormwater permit.
So that's what it's for.
So maybe that's
It's not
okay.
prior to.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, so if somebody
You need
wants,
to read it.
somebody wants a permit, they're gonna let you come
Well, that's what
on.
I'm getting
True.
at.
Yeah,
So
otherwise you're wasting your time. or
that's
money.
what this,
Yeah.
that's what this is, you need to read the whole thing
Okay.
in its full content and detail.
all right.
Now, like I said, you might want to add verbiage, but I guarantee you they got that
All right.
hammered out, or,
You can leave it on.
or check when John comes back
Yeah, to see if there's something,
on,
new language around
on language, on verbiage. I'd make a note
it. Yep.
to check.
Okay. He's gonna watch the tape anyways, get the minutes. So section D is about the fee. The Uxbridge, so D, fees, number 1, general. Okay, I don't have a problem with number 1, that's just covering the fee for the engineering.
And who determines what these fees are? Is that something that
Well,
later
planning board.
date?
Well, the planning board would, they would have an application, so that each submission and application fee. So I think that can be,
I think I like it written in there.
it's down below.
Yeah, I know,
Below.
that's what I said, I like that.
Yeah, so they have $100 for the disturbance of 1 acre
Mm-hmm.
and $50 for every additional acre, including 5 acres, and then $50 for any additional 5 acres. So actually, that's pretty reasonable. No fees are
That-
refundable in the whole, okay.
6 acres, it's gonna be $300, right?
Yeah. Yep.
If you got 10 acres, it's gonna be $350.
$350.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not
I don't know.
over
What
the
do you
top.
think, Margaret?
Yeah, 10 acres, 350?
Yeah,
That's not too bad. Yeah.
it's not bad at all.
But that's why I like to see it put in there before they decide they want $1,000 out.
Yeah. I think the only other edit, we'll change the town of Uxbridge to the town of Douglas on that, fees. Okay. What else we got? So, page
100
10.
acres of disturbance is $1,250. I'm curious about, what do they mean by disturbance? If you happen to have 100 acres and you're working in a small portion, well, we
We've
don't...
covered disturbance on what it is, so it's actually,
It's in the bylaw.
it's in the
Do
bylaw.
we have a definition?
Yeah.
We'll get it definitely,
We-
disturbance.
Disturbance, action to alter or disturb existing vegetation and the underlying soil of a site, such as clearing, grading, site preparation, for example, excavating, cutting, and filling, soil compaction, and movement of stockpiles,
Yep.
and stockpiles of topsoil.
So, Carol, if you're on that grader and you're
Yeah.
dropping that blade clearing across, okay, you're disturbing.
Yeah,
So that's disturbing of vegetation. Yeah, she's got a grader.
I do have a grader. The problem is, I told Russ, why don't you crank that grader up so you can do Island Road? He said, the fear that I have is it's gonna break down while I'm working on it, and nobody's gonna be able to get by us. You know,
That's
that's not
true.
gonna be good.
True.
We're
All
gonna
right.
sell a grader.
So number 5 is revision of fee schedule and reg governance fee. So
So off the bat, at least in this bylaw, I don't see anything on pertaining to C. as
You know
far
what
as
I don't
entry.
like? On 5, I don't like that they may review and revise its regulations and fee schedules periodically as it sees fit.
well,
Planning board does.
Yeah, but then, okay, now they decide, oh, that $50, that's not enough.
Oh, it might not be, depends on what the inflation or what's going on. It's no different than what we do now.
it's
We
spelled out though.
revise,
It's because they
Yeah.
and so that's the thing with any regs, they're exactly what they're spelling. They're spelling it out here.
Yeah.
This is the thing. They'd have to do a written decision, file it within 14
Correct.
days of the action of taken. So I know this is the revision of the fee schedule is the procedure.
Okay.
That's dead on.
yeah.
I think leaving it in is actually helpful because it documents it. Doesn't mean that they should do it or
Yeah.
why they would do it. but-
100%.
Okay.
I know with some of our stuff, it's years and years and years before it's looked at.
Yeah.
It's to cover the office and all the administration fees and
Yeah.
everything else that's going on.
I mean, every 3 years, the town should look at their fee schedule
Yeah.
just to make sure.
Yeah, like with mailings and all that kind of stuff.
Section 6, this is the rules for hiring consultants. I don't like the word hiring. It's a better word instead of hiring consultants.
Securing the
Employment
services.
of outside consultants,
Huh?
what are they using?
Securing the services, where do you see that?
6?
6.
6, for fees for the employment of outside consultants, or the securing the services of outside consultants.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of it.
I think
Hiring-
exactly what she says, rules for securing the services of
Yeah.
outside consultants.
Probably use that as the header. Rules for.
Oh, I see, the header, that's where you
Yeah,
see it.
I just want a cleaner header.
Oh,
there.
rules for professional
Professional.
consultants.
Professional consultants.
Yeah, and then when you, then the first paragraph, may impose reasonable fees for the securing services of outside consultants.
Correct.
How's that
Securing
sound?
services.
Yeah, because it already says outside consultants. Yes.
Yeah.
So then it goes, yeah. Services may include but not limited to.
Because once you call them in employment, then you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
Well, you use-
future,
Yeah,
employment,
yeah.
and
You
everything
use that
else.
53G, so it's on behalf of the town. So the applicant has to pay the town $1,200.
Right,
So I have to pay the town $1,200. So they hire Margaret to review my engineer's plan to see if it, because the town doesn't have the expertise
Right.
in-house.
Right.
So what if we
Use a word
try-
Like employment.
No.
There's
No, you don't want to use the word employment.
Yeah, we don't want to use.
So what if we do this? If you go down to the last paragraph, where it starts, the fee must be received in its entirety, instead of rules for hiring consultant, put in initiation of consulting services,
Oh, yeah, just take the same language
and bring that up to the
Sure.
top. How does that sound? Pretty much, because that's what
Yeah.
you're doing, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You're initiating
yeah,
Yeah,
consultant services.
okay.
that'll work.
That's a good
It makes it simple.
header,
Yeah.
title. Yeah. Yeah, that's,
Right?
yeah, no.
Does that
right.
make sense?
Yeah, and this is all standard 53G language. Pacific Consultant Service. Here's the thing is, this is the rules for it. I guess we're, and I want to talk about this one because this one kind of, in section 6, right? So Carl's going to cite, I think you have to, my problem is this, is they could say, all right, Margaret's got a site, and the board listens to their in-house staff, and the in-house staff says, oh, Margaret, you need a wildlife specialist, you need an arborist specialist, you need a soil sample specialist.
Yep.
I mean, so next you know, they're hiring
That's right, and I'm the poor property owner.
six
Yeah,
different
right.
consultants.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So rules for integrating the consultant services, I want to probably just put in something that gives the discretion back to the planning board, or, because if you say, hey, we don't need a animal wildlife specialist to come out and look at the land, that you're hiring a consultant. The map is the map. You pay the fee for endangered species. They actually come out and walk out the land. You know what I mean? But if you had to hire, I'm just worried about someone getting tacked on a bunch of,
Well, it can, all I can say, it can be very, very expensive for the poor homeowner
Yes,
Yeah.
it
who
can.
doesn't have much money, and then
Yeah.
somebody's throwing all these specialized consultant
correct.
that,
I
which
mean,
is,
Yeah.
you just look at, my niece just had a baby, and she's like, there was 15 people that came by, and I said, none of them are free. You know what I mean? But that's the same situation that can happen in this situation, where they could hit you with all these different consultants as a
and
homeowner,
the poor homeowner
and
has,
they're like,
he's got no recourse.
But you need to go to the next page, 11,
11.
and read the last paragraph. I think it's pretty
Okay.
cut and dry there with some of that.
See, I was sticking on the front page, but yeah,
All right, see where it says you can
applicant may appeal. Yep.
appeal
Yep.
who you're using.
Which
Somebody's
one is
going,
it? Page 11?
you're on
Page 11.
11 of 25.
Right at the top.
So read,
Okay, okay.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah.
But what I would say this is,
but to stay on that paragraph, let's do this. They're talking about
why would you
the
appeal?
minimum
Yeah, right.
qualifications.
That's the only way you
So
can
as
do
our
it.
qualifications, are we gonna require, like our bylaw states, that a professional licensed?
We already stated that it would be someone's license. I
It
don't.
doesn't say that here.
Yeah. Well, I also here I see minimum qualifications consist of educational degree or 3 or more years of practical experience in the field. That's okay. That's
It doesn't say what our bylaw says.
yeah.
Go to our bylaw page, go to page 407,
Yep.
and it states here. Is that what is required for a consultant or not? Or is that only for the engineer that designs the system?
So what-
If we go, that's the red and the one with the red highlights? Yeah, so go to page 407.
407.
407. All right. The one that has the red ink
Red mark
on
on
it.
it.
From tonight's packet. Well,
Right there.
Right there.
That's what I have.
So
Page.
407.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it says
Or
That's
is that
a
for
professional
the
engineering.
designing stage, or is that for the consultant's aspect? The consultant
not-
gonna be different than the engineering?
It's different.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there.
No, because this is about someone who's stamping the plan.
Right,
as a
I'm just
PE,
saying,
But versus you, so an arborist or an endangered wildlife person's not going to have a PE background. So I think that they highlighted here. I think my concern is I like the fact that the applicant can appeal,
correct.
right?
But-
But the question is is their first appeal? I don't think their first appeal should be to the planning board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go back, what we're talking, we're jumping around now, let's go back. So, the only reason I'm saying this is, you're gonna have somebody that's been in the field a couple of years, telling the guy that has a stamped engineering degree that he's wrong.
And that happens.
It happens, though.
I know,
It's all-
but is
I
that,
can tell you.
is that what you want, though?
Oh no! I think they're the problem is they.
That's what we're doing right here, because we're saying this in the regs, but we have this in the bylaw.
Well,
Well, what? It's right there in that paragraph.
but I like what I'm taking is the first section of is that the applicant may appeal the
I
section
understand that,
of, right? I think
but you need to read the whole
I
paragraph.
agree. Then we get into the person's background and stuff like that.
Correct.
So there's cases there, and I get the phone call where the person is a junior engineer hired by the town as a consultant, is then saying, well, I believe the wetland boundary markers here, all right, which is, off by 50 feet, okay? And then the consultant hired by the applicant is like, no, I've got 30 years experience, and I think the thing that has to be there is that it has to go, the appeal has to go before the board who's going to weigh in on the permit, because it wouldn't make sense to go to the selectman board in this case, what they got written here. It has to go before the thing where there's a discrepancy of the data line, because I've received a phone call and someone goes, well, what would you do in this situation? And I say, you have to, as an applicant, with your professional engineer, you have to say, hey, I believe it's 100 feet off the property is where the wetland line is. You're the consultant hired by the town, a junior consultant, or just a person that a disagreement is saying it's 60 feet. Okay? That discussion and just issue has to get resolved with the permitting board. Do you know what I mean? Because it happens, and Margaret, you know this, it happens a lot.
Well, and the problem is, there is no process right now in that certain board when it's so lopsided that the poor applicant doesn't have an option, because
Right.
there's so much.
And that's what, so 2 minutes ago, we're talking about cost to the applicant.
Yeah.
Right?
Right here, we're adding cost,
Yeah.
because you have a junior person bucking against somebody that has the registered stamp that you're supposed to go by. Now you're adding cost, time, and argument.
No,
Is going
but-
back
but-
and forth. So if you have a stamped engineer and a stamped engineer,
Yeah, but
you're on an equal playing field.
Right, but so what if the disputes on the, the wetland line or wetland disturbance because,
Yeah.
the stormwater impacted an adjacent wetland? Most PEs is not an expert in that area,
Yeah. But I think
And same with an arborist,
Correct.
Yeah, I think there has to be two sections in here broken out here. One is, you're talking about the appeal, all right, the appeal of the selection of an outside consultant. That should be still with, Douglas Planning Board.
Okay, so you want to cross out the selectmen
Yeah.
and start with the
Well,
planning.
because that's the selection on how many consultants, is needed to review this plan, right? And what they're looking at, because that starts, looking at and saying, the town's agent, let's say the town's agent says, oh, you need these 7 consultants, and the applicant's like, I disagree, and and sometimes it's not, it doesn't go before a board, the disagreement gets worked out amongst the agent, but sometimes you may have, they need that appeal.
Yeah, the average homeowner needs a place to go if he disagrees with the selection of the consultant, and
Yep.
I would think the scope of services.
Yeah.
That's being,
Yeah, I think we need the scope.
Because over here, it says the only way you can appeal, only on the grounds that the consultant has a conflict of interest or does not possess the minimum required qualifications. And look at what the minimum required things are. It's,
So let me,
So basically, okay, he's got the minimum required, so you can't appeal it. He's got what he
Yeah.
needs, you can't appeal it.
well,
That's what they're saying
and
right
you
here.
can only knock them out if there's a conflict of interest.
conflict of
I
interest.
disagree. I think I'd like to rewrite that paragraph more. Okay, I'll take the first stab at it.
Okay.
What I want to do is I want to add in to what Margaret's highlighted is the scope of service that's needed, that gets reviewed, and that the appeal of anything goes before the planning board, but not just the appeal of what consultant's being used, but also the punch list of.
Are they doing that to the selectmen because of the conflict where the planning board is hiring that consultant?
No. That,
I'm just throwing it out there.
No.
See where I'm going? The planning board is the one deciding
Yeah, you're
what
making them
consultant you're
judge,
gonna
jury, and
use.
execution.
Now you're gonna come back and
Is it-
rebut that hiring to the planning board who just hired the guy.
Now, let me ask you a question. Planning board, you guys have a couple of different consultants you use?
I think he does.
Yeah.
So can't you leave it up to the applicant? These are
We've done that
consultants?
before.
Yeah.
We've asked the applicant, is it okay if we use ABC?
Would you have
And
a
a lot of times
preference?
they'd go ahead and say, sure, we have no problem with that.
Yeah. I think that's.
That could be some language where,
Yeah.
in the beginning of the process,
Yep.
an agreement is reached.
Yeah, but after
Before you
they
go,
approve, you come
instead of having to make it all these appeals and this and that, or say, hey, between parties,
Yep.
make an agreement on who the consultant's gonna be before moving forward.
So-
Instead of getting halfway into it
Yeah.
and find out, oh, I think there's a conflict, or, oh, I think there's this. Before you even start, you have an agreement on record that everybody's okay with
You know,
what's
some
going
of the
on.
towns I've.
So I'm gonna add this is that the applicant and planning agent to agree on scope, right, of service
And the
and
consultant,
and the consultant, right,
prior to.
prior to, right,
Hiring of them.
prior
What did
to,
you say some of the towns you've gone to,
Right.
what's happened?
Yeah,
and
they
then
give
and then
me
go
a-
back to
a
the
list
appeal
of different
aspect.
They give you a
consultants, and I-
big list of consultants.
Yeah.
Asked me to pick the one I would choose.
Oh, that's good, because you
Just
know,
choose my buddy.
well, choose somebody that you know is going to do a good job.
Good job, and you know, and I'm just looking at it from the applicant standpoint is, I think that's needed that.
I think that's fair,
It's
because
a,
that,
it's a pre,
yeah.
I mean, you could have a consultant that has a hair about a certain person too, you know?
well,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think on some of the projects, there is
well, we,
an agreement
yeah, you know, we,
so that there's no issues as the project moves forward, you know?
yeah, because if someone wants to, for whatever reason, you know what I mean, throw a log into the wheels of it, you know what I mean, that it's going to cause some disturbance and stuff like that. So let me take on writing that up.
How often do you think that, do you think every time somebody, so there's only going to be very few people who are going to need a stormwater permit, correct? Because
Yeah.
the map, only
Yep.
very few.
Yep.
And those that do, how often do you think we're going to need consultants?
Well, I think so. Here's the problem: is if you look at a project that's going to need stormwater, they're doing a
Gonna need
development.
one.
They're going to have to hire an engineer
Yeah.
anyways. So that
To review
so
it.
let's just say they're going to put in, you know, a garage, right? You know what I mean, on a piece of land. So they're going to disturb more than an acre of land. It's commercial space. I'm thinking of something that's done on like Route 16 or some area like that.
Yeah, okay.
So they're going to disturb some area.
The
so-
engineer does the design, yeah.
They're going to need engineer does the design. They're going to need to say, okay, I think it has to be like a pre-application step where,
Peer review
yeah, the peer review, but you also have the
through a consultant.
planning agent turns around and says, okay, here's what the scope, what we think you triggered, or you're going to trigger with this application, or we're going to need these type of professional services to review, you know, whether it is endangered species or whether it is, you know, vegetation. And that's why if everything can get worked out prior to, and I think that conversation's there. We're just saying,
Yeah, but how many plans go through the planning board where the engineer stamps a plan, small little site plans, nothing crazy? You don't have every one of those being
No.
reviewed by.
So this would only happen if it's triggered, if it's in our map,
Yep.
and if it's over an acre.
Yeah.
That's the only way it
But
would
over
be
an acre,
triggered.
but it'd be a commercial site. So a commercial site,
So,
which are
see where I'm going? If
But-
you're the small homeowner,
Oh,
and it's under,
got it.
see,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you're not dealing
Yeah,
with somebody
that's
building a
right.
house, you're
Yeah.
not doing that.
Right,
Yeah.
It's only once you hit that acre point,
So,
now you're triggering everything. If there's gonna be, say, a site plan or this or that, there's always has to be a review, and that's where the consultant would come into play. And we always try to have it where it's agreed upon somewhere in the beginning.
yeah, so you need a site plan review anyways, correct?
Probably gonna be,
Yeah, so forget about the stormwater
Correct.
permit. So you need the site plan review, which you
Correct.
need stormwater anyways.
Yes.
Well, if it's
Exactly.
in that, only if it's in that area and it's triggered.
Yep.
But if it wasn't in that area,
Doesn't
Good.
always need to be.
You just need site plan.
and
it's
so
not-
you're, so site plan, if you're not near any wetlands or no buffer zones, then you don't
If you're not
necessarily have to
in
do,
the, if you're not in the map area, yeah.
Yeah.
you don't need stormwater.
No, because you're not going to be
right.
impacting the water of the U.S. and stuff like
Got
that.
Because that's why we spent so much time, remember?
Make sure the map
Writing that
lines
up
up.
to making sure
Yeah.
everybody was
And it's funny because,
protected.
Oh, he was right to build the whole town, remember?
well, in the towns, I'm going to tell you, I would, you know, we've got 8 minutes left anyways, because I know you get the 7 o'clock
Yeah.
thing. So I was in a community, north of Worcester. They adopted it town-wide. And I was talking to the lady there, and she's like, this is horrible, right? And I said, well, here's my email, and here's the files and stuff like that. And they're trying to figure out how they unring a bell and they didn't realize that they could have actually just had a more of a defined map area. So I ended up giving them our bylaw, Uxbridge's bylaw, and others, and have that conversation. I'm hoping to have a conversation with other towns that have adopted townwide and saying, you know, you'd be in the best interest of maybe looking at this over, you know, reduced map area and the benefits of it. I think they missed it, you know, and I think because sometimes it's a rush to adopt,
Yeah,
and they don't realize when you do a rush to adopt, you don't know what you get, and then you turn around and say, oh my God, what did we adopt? Moment, right? And you know that's why you don't want to rush through things. I just kind of probably want to hold off. I don't want to get too deep because we're missing two
No.
members, but we'll
I
probably,
think that's a good start.
yeah, we'll stop,
And some stuff to look into.
stop
Well,
there.
and then I guess I also ask everybody for
Yeah,
the next meeting, just take a look at this,
I will.
Okay.
the checklist
Yeah.
and stuff like
This is
that,
good.
and we'll see if we want to, you know, pretty much copy this.
Let me ask you
yeah,
this,
work off this.
maybe forward a copy to John,
Yeah,
if it could be.
I
You know
will.
what I mean?
Sure.
That way there, he'll have something,
Yep.
I think that would be,
So let's do this. Entertain a motion to adjourn at 6:40. Sorry, 6:54.
so moved.
Motion by Mike. All in favor?
Hey,
Aye.
I